I thought it would be a good day to a good point to talk about some updates and everything, and just for the heck of it, we're gonna start off from the cutscene and transition to the second scene. All right, we are now in the second scene where you drop your flashlight. Now, I am going to add on to the cutscene right before this and show you like running towards like the house or whatever, and it'll show you dropping your flashlight. So you'll see that, but it's kind of important for this part of the game. But I don't think I need to read that up for you, right? Mother isn't home yet. Must be working late again. It's really dark though. I should turn on some lights. Hint, hint. But the thing is, I mean, I guess realistically you would probably first go to this, and then you'd probably go straight to light, but it is what it is. There's got to be some openness and freeness, right? I don't need it to be super linear in your decision making, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm too short to reach the light switch. Maybe I'll do something where you have to touch this thing before you notice the plush, but either way, you pick this up. Oh wait, you can't yet. That's right. I'm not touching that. It's too dark to see what it is. But you can't turn the lights on because you're short. You're tiny because you're a little child. Go into your room and explains a little bit of backstory of your room. And then, oh look, there's a save here too. Except that you can't use it because it's too dark to read. And you're too short for even your own light switch. You're so damn tiny, man. What's this thing over here? This weird glowing thing. It's a Hushi plush. It says my Hushi monster plush. This his little heart glows green like a lantern. Gain Hushi monster plush. It works like a lantern, and now you could glow. Is it enough to see in the dark? No, you still can't read. It's not dark, not light enough for that. However, see over here. First of all, you have your brother's sock, which it smells like kind of like onions. Onions are yummy. So then you get a few things. You learn a skill, sock eater. You carry that with you for the entirety of the game. Not the sock, you ate it, but the skill. Anyways, obviously having a little nightlight on you does not make you tall, but it is enough to see what this is, which is now a spatula. It says gross with a little gross person's face, making a gross like you face. A spatula. Why did nobody wash this? You gained a dirty spatula. It's probably good for poking things. And then in the item description for that, it says, for dirty spatula, it says it still has eggs on it. You could probably poke things with it. And then the Hushi Monster Plus just says, Hushi Monster Plus. It's also a nightlight, which is what it is. Now that you have a spatula, you could turn the lights on. Interesting. That's cool, you could turn the lights on. You could save now, because it's light enough to read, but if you turn that light back off, it's too dark to read, but you got it on. So, right now, I've been learning, like, dependencies and, like, little puzzle things, you know, not super complicated, and kind of free-flowing. I don't know, we'll figure it out, right? But, yeah, figuring all that out, dependencies and lights, it's been kind of hard, more so than anything else, and layers. So as you can see, like right now the layer, because I want the darkness, so the layers have different levels, and that level depends on, will like decide its height, right? So like right now it's at a height where, so basically in order to be able to go underneath this, I have to have that, the wall and the ceiling as a layer, and not just drawn on the parallax. It is its own layer, which you can see I kind of messed up. I gotta fix a little bit. I guess you can't see because it's tiny for you, but I fixed a little bit, but I gotta fix that little spot right there. Anyways, but I need to make make a separate layer, I think, for the actual like interior roof little area, the gray spot, so that the light isn't affected by that. Like, it's okay if it affects the wall like that, like that's fine, a little bit of glow or whatever, but the top ceiling thing, I gotta make that its own layer so it'll cut off the light, and I'll get to that. But so after this, next thing that'll happen is well, first of all, it's kind of empty space right now, I gotta fill it all up. This is the kitchen, and this is gonna be your mom's room, And there's a big mystery where your brother is, huh? And then here is there's gonna be like a TV. This is a living room. This is obviously your room. There's gonna be more to the spot. And at the end of this, there's going to be a dependency where you have to have all the lights off before you could go to sleep, and there'll be like something that makes it so that you have to do something before that. Dialogue shows up, so you have to do something like in your mom's room, investigate it or something. And then after you do that, you'll like unlock the dialogue when you go to your like bed and stuff. So then you could sleep. In order to sleep, you're gonna have all the lights off, because each one of these lights has a variable. So whenever you turn the light on, it gives you +1 light on variable. And then if you turn it off, it takes away 1. So if you have 3 of the light on variables, it'll allow all of that to happen. You'll have to have all of them off in order to go to sleep. So that's kind of what I've been working on. And then it's going to play a cutscene, which is going to be super fucked up. And it'll give a good tone to it's going to start getting into like the darker aspects of the game. Even though in the first like little beach portion, in the first little portion, you get just drowned. Accidentally get sent to the There's gonna be a thing like that too here, just gonna say it. And I don't want to forget, so maybe like this will help me not forget. But like in the kitchen or something, there'll be like a thing. I don't know, like there'll be like a candle. You're just gonna be a violent death. I don't know if you're gonna explode or catch on fire. Probably catch on fire. It'll be easier. But and then when you go to bed, it'll play a pretty evil cutscene. Then it's gonna go transition to the next scene where you're no longer gonna be a child. You'll be going back and forth to being a child, not a child. It'll make sense throughout the game and story and everything. Other than that, it's kind of where I'm at now. The structure of this house obviously needs to be cleaned up a little bit in terms of like the paints and everything. But in terms of the structure, I like it being kind of like wonky. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like my art style is very much of like David Firth, and I want to play into that. I want I don't want it to be like pixel perfect. You know what I mean? So that's just in case you were wondering why it's like all the way it is. Is like that. Like the beach is a much larger space. So like as a consequence to it being a much larger space, it's just like the lines to like the water or whatever are a lot more fluid. But this is a smaller space. It's closer up, which is actually really nice in terms of the perspective. Because I didn't change the sprite, right? It's the same sprite, but like in the little beach area, you look so much tinier than you do here. And the only thing that changed is the space perspective. I just think that's really cool that our brain does shit like that. But that's it. That's all I got for now. It took me a long time to figure all that out. But that's kind of that's how that goes when you're learning an engine, and it's in and outs, and then you have to work with like plugins and their in and outs and how everything like functions together. And there's like my light plugin is free. I don't want to use Vigicilla stuff too much if I don't have to for reasons that are personal to me. It is what it is. But this is a free light plugin, and figuring that one out's been kind of difficult because it hasn't had support in. Well, I guess this last update was last year, but it's also a Japanese plugin. So it's a free alternative to Vigicilla's light. It's just this little bit different. This light over here is in Japanese as well. So this little light over here is a different light. It's from a different thing, and this one actually gives you the ability to do shapes, and but it doesn't really do much with layers that I've figured out so far. And it's a little bit more complex than the light system that I have for the character and the environment. And so I kind of like that though. I like being able to have, I don't know, like this is going to be a TV light. It's not going to be affected by layers. It just seems much more in space, in the space that it's in. So that'll be cool. But I'm going to work with that, and maybe it's messy, maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm talking too much. So that's it. That's what's here now. But still, I'm happy with it. Well, where it's going, obviously I just started it, but yeah.